I want you guys to focus a lot in your head position. So try to have your head as close as possible to your forearm. And when you guys get this position, sometimes it's very difficult to separate the knee from the elbow when the person is tied in this position. I want you guys walking towards the shoulder line, but I try to maintain your hips facing inside. Look, I'm not doing this. I try to maintain my hips facing inside. Look how my toes, I'm gonna bend on my leg, and I'm gonna try to be facing the hips. A little bit of separation that I create, I'm gonna insert my knee in that space that I create, and I'm gonna go knee and belly, and I'm gonna start to find the grip in the collar, okay? So catch is gonna maintain the frame. I'm gonna start to slide my elbow outside, and my knee go outside to finish in the same position that you worked last week, okay? So we're gonna use this camp from the Toriando to stabilize control, okay? Then I'm gonna explain how this is gonna connect with the technique that we're gonna work today, okay? So now the grips. When you guys start to engage the guard, I want 2 grips close to the shin, okay? Not like with your fingers in the end of the pants, more close to the knee, close to the shin, and I want you guys to create this stereo motion, okay? So we're gonna pull one of his knees to his chest, and the other one away. And as I spin him, I'm gonna get an angle, and now I go to the camp. Okay, when I get here, I'm walking towards the shoulder line. Now when I create a little bit of separation, I go knee and belly, okay? When you go knee and belly, try to stay nice and low. Don't need to cross your knee all the way. The hands stay on the hip, this grip go to the collar, okay? Now from here, I start to slide my knee to the floor, my elbow go outside, and I start to stabilize hip and the hip. So again, try to avoid sitting, okay? So try to maintain the connection on the hip, okay? Don't need to do fast, you guys can do regular pace, 2 minutes each person, and then you're gonna start on the side, okay? So when I engage the guard, I find my grip, and now I'm gonna create this stereo motion. I rotate him, create an angle. Now look, my head starts to go down close to the knee, and I go to the camp. So now from here, walking to the shoulder line. When I push the knee away, I go knee and belly, find the grip in the collar. You guys either find the collar grip or the triceps control. Better the collar if you can. Okay, now look, I'm gonna slide my knee close to his rib cage, and now my elbow go outside, and I stay like so. Try to avoid sitting. Maintain your hip attached on the hip, okay? I'm gonna do 2 times regular motion, you guys see? One person on top each 2 minutes, okay? Just like that, okay? Let's start to warm up doing that. Any questions? Let's go, 1, 2. The person on bottom today, you guys gonna have as a goal, you guys gonna start in the side position, and your goal today is gonna be try to get a side guard, okay? You're gonna try to go to the elbow escape, and you're gonna try to bring your knee inside your partner hips. Just the bottom leg, not the top, okay? I want you guys to try to bring this knee inside. That's gonna be your goal, okay? So if you get there, so probably in this position, I'm gonna have to bridge towards him to create some type of space. I'm gonna try to shrimp away, and I'm gonna try to insert my knee, okay? When I get a side guard, I'm gonna try to step this foot on my own foot, and I'm gonna try to maintain this figuration. I'm not gonna try to regard fully. I'm just gonna try to maintain the side guard, okay? If you get here, try to just maintain the control. Does that make sense? So maintain this form of control here, okay? So to the other side. So I'm gonna try to bridge towards him. I'm gonna try to create room enough to insert my knee. If I insert my knee, I step foot on the foot, and I'm gonna try to move my head as much as I could away from him to have more space. Okay? Just that. Don't try to fully regard. Don't try to sit up your elbow. Just try to do this during the exercise. Okay? That's your job. On top, like I said last week, to maintain the pin, doesn't matter what kind of pin that you have on the side, you guys can pick. If you want to start with the way how we started last week, I think it's better because you guys are improving this position. Okay? So to avoid the knee coming in, I always going to try to have the side of my hips on him, or I'm going to try to have my knee under his butt, because that way his legs facing away, or I'm going to try to pivot and be more square. The other thing you guys can do, you guys can always use arm block. Okay, I'm gonna talk about this Wednesday, but if you wanna use your arm block, you guys can as well, with head control or with the hands over. Okay, but your job is in first place is try to prevent this knee coming in. Okay, if your partner knee is coming in during the exercise, I want you guys to go to the camp. Look, I'm gonna retract my, I'm gonna explain later better, but for now, just try to do that during the exercise. I'm gonna retract my elbow inside. I'm gonna maintain the grip that I have in the collar, or if I have a little bit deeper in the collar, or even if I have the head, I'm gonna tripod on hand, and when I tripod, my head go close to my hands. And now from here, switch to the knee. And if you guys do that, I want you guys try to regain control about the side. Okay, try to regain control about the side. But the person is gonna be resistance. Okay? So, let's say, Kashi has my side, he's doing a good job maintaining control, but I managed to get the knee inside. He's going to retract his elbow, he's going to try to get a camp, and now I'm going to try to maintain my connection knee and elbow, and he needs to separate. Don't need to try to high leg over regard, maintain this connection. Try to maintain your knee, attach your elbow. Okay, just to make the person work harder to try to get the knee on the belly. Does that make sense? So it's going to be mid on bottom, mid on top, exactly like that, okay? So, Igor, come over here. Mark, go on top. Let's work here. Igor, escape and Mark control. Avoid in first place his knee come inside, okay? And go. Keep your trap with the knee inside. Nice, keep it this way. Nice, very good. Try to separate. Maintain attached, Igor, now. Try to regain control. Keep going, keep going. Maintain the knee elbow connection. Nice, very good. Now Igor on top. Very good. So frame the biceps. Go. Try to, in first place, avoid the knee coming inside, okay? Keep working. Don't let, don't let. Create more space, Mark. Try to create more space. And time. Very good. That's what I want. If the person brings the knee, try to go to the camp. Okay, but in first place, try to avoid. Okay? Mid on bottom, mid on top. Bye, 1, 2. Let's go. Guys, I'm going to show you guys the technique. You guys are going to work 10 minutes, the technique. So it's very similar than what you guys just have done. So remember, you have been work a series that when you pass the guard, they understand that when you pass the legs, so you're always going to have some form of reaction from the bottom person. So against good guys, it's never going to be I pass the legs and I establish control. It's going to have a battle here until you guys be able to pin the person and progress to a better position, okay? Last week I explained how to deal when the person has strong frames and you guys cannot get close to your partner. And this week you have been talking about when the person retract the limbs inside, okay? So I think the most important thing to understand is that when your partner starts to bring the knees inside, if you try to maintain the control for too long and you keep holding the position, eventually the person is going to be able to control your arm. And now you're under submission attack. Okay, this happens very often. It's important to understand that. Okay, let's say, even if he has head and arm control, well look, maybe he has head and arm control, he's in regular side control, I manage to place my knee inside, he's keeping holding strong, I move. When I break this connection, he's under submission attack. Okay? I think that's the most important thing to guys understand. So when you guys see the knee come inside, in my opinion, there's two techniques that work very well. One is come back to the cane position, where my elbow that is outside go inside, And when my arm is inside here, I'm safe. Okay, there's no submission he can do on me. Even if it's regard, my arm is safe in this position. Okay, if my elbow stay outside in his regard, I'm in trouble here. Okay, he can lock omoplata, he can go armbar, he can go kimura. There's many submissions he can attack my upper body. Okay, in the moment that I see his knee coming inside, I have to do one step back to progress again. Okay, I retract my elbow, and now I go on the cane position. So you guys know how it is. Like when the person has a strong knee and elbow connection, it's quite difficult to separate too much space here. A little space that you guys separate, knee and belly is a great option to regain control. Okay. The other way that I want you guys to work today is this modified knee and belly. When I start to create space, I'm gonna create a line with my knee on his belly. I'm gonna post my hands on the floor away from him. And I'm gonna try to bring in my knee as close as possible to his armpit. The reason why I'm doing that is because if he's framing my upper body, he's gonna follow me with their hands. And that's gonna give me double underhooks. Okay? And when I progress to double underhooks, now I can mount. Okay, I always explain to you guys, if you want to mount your partner, one of the most important things you guys need to do is either shelf this arm, because now the elbow is not inside, okay, or you need to try to gain double underhooks. Okay, because then when you mount, you already have a very strong connection. You don't want to mount the person all loose, and as you mount, the person bridge, and now elbow escape. And then you'll never be able to stabilize the mount. Okay? So when Kashi starts to retract his knee, and I understand that his knee comes inside, I retract the elbow, I keep my head down, because I cannot release too much pressure. I keep my head down, and I go to the camp. Now, in the moment that I separate his knee, I walk to the shoulder line. When I separate the knee, my hands go in the near side, and I try to get here, look. Look how my upper body is fighting against his frame. Of course, he's going to be moving. He's going to be trying to bridge. He's going to try to push and try to maintain the control. If I feel like his elbow comes inside, then I start to go to the position that you guys just worked before. I come back to the side control. Okay? But if I be able to maintain this control and he's following me with the upper body, I go double unders, and now I can progress to the mount. Okay? Stay tight. When I progress to the double unders, I try to make sure his elbow is nice and high. And now to don't let him catch my foot in the three-card mount, in the moment my knee touch the floor, I open my leg all the way to the opposite side, because if I leave it here, he can catch, look. And now I'm going to have to fight against this. Come back. In the moment that I slide my knee, look, my knee touch the floor, I open the leg, and now I can stabilize, and I have double underhooks, ready to progress to that mount, and work the arm bar. If you guys want to work the arm bar, go ahead. Okay, you guys can. So again, we start on the side. So maybe you guys can start any side position, okay? You guys can mix it up your side position. It can be hip in the hip, can be regular side control. In the moment my partner plays the knee inside, look, elbow go inside, and I go to the camp. So I walk in towards the shoulder line. When I create a little bit of separation, my hands go to the floor. Be careful and don't cross your arm, because you guys are going to give the sit-up skip. Look, okay? So maintain on the same side. Now I go far side underhook, and now I fight to the near side underhook. If his elbow is already inside, I go traditional knee and belly, and now I can start to control the semi form that you guys did before. But at least you don't lose the position, okay? And that's the main thing, maintain the pin, all right? So one more time. So you are on the side. So you try to stabilize control. Your partner makes sure to place the knee inside. I retract, and I go with my hands on the knee. I walk towards the side. In the moment that I create that little separation, I go here, look. This position. So ask your partner to do a few breaths from here. Try to move a little bit. Try to follow your partner. Move. Stay attached. And then you start to stabilize double underhooks. When you stabilize double underhooks, then you can start to think about mount. You can either go with the double collar grip and open the elbow, or you guys can go wrist on the wrist. When you mount, establish good control. And then if you want to go S mount, and then progress to the arm bar, you guys can. Okay? It's up to you. The other position that I'm going to talk about Wednesday, but just keep in mind, the other thing that work very well is the arm block. Just you guys have start to open up your understand this position. Let's say I mean here, his place is the inside. I can start to go arm block, I retract my elbow, and I can start to go arm block, and I start to walking more towards north south. That's the other thing that work very well. I explain them better for you guys on Wednesday, okay? You guys understand? So let's work back and forth, both sides, and then you go active again, okay? 1, 2, let's go.